just wanted to share a quick quick things lately that I had that are like mostly I would classify. I want to share it separately in a separate video. So first of that was, like I told in one of these videos, I told it's the full moon cycle, and this was really interesting information for me. And now I'm looking at the moon is in the backwards, but it's almost full right now. It's going to the empty moon, and the information was that the ancient Latvian people that live here or Asian people also, elders, they were not looking at the watch, they were looking at the full moon cycles. They were using these cycles in terms of understanding how they work and what they do. And in full moon and in the empty moon, they don't do anything. They just chill out. They just relax. They don't do works like that. And understood that empty moon is more in terms of spirituality. Empty moon is more closer to self, to looking inside of you. In other words, looking into deep meditations. And I would say empty moon is one of the classifications for deep meditational states. Now when we go to the empty moon, to the full moon, it's work where you put in your energy. It means like work of planting seeds, like investing energy and so on. Full moon we don't do anything, because on the full moon, what I understood from the channeling was that on the full moon in the 3-day period, we don't do anything because we can have many of errors or many of distractions in our work, and that can lead to unquality work. Like it can lead to fails in our work, whatever we are doing, whatever we are working at that period. Well, imagine if we had full moon and we are fixing our car, then we can get angry, and through this angry we can break something, and when we break something we get more angrier, and then we can do lots of damage to whatever situation it may be. And so from the full moon to the empty moon, we are harvesting our invested energy. So for example, we were fixing the car in the period from the empty moon to the full moon, and then on the other period we are driving this car and enjoying this car from the full moon to the empty moon cycle. So in other words, we are investing our energy, or we are giving out our energy to others, and on the empty moon cycle from the full moon to empty moon, we are like harvesting, we are like getting back our energy that we had, put it out. So in other words, it can be we are cleaning our house in the cycle of empty moon to full moon, and from the full moon to empty moon we are enjoying the cleanness we have in our house. Or in other words, we from the empty moon to the full moon, we are taking care of, for example, a lemon tree, and from the full moon to empty moon, we are enjoying the fruit of the lemon tree. So seeding and harvesting, in other words. And another information which was really interesting from the period, what I had information, which for me was quite interesting, bath therapy. And this was something interesting. What I received was information that when we are in bath, and they said this could be a bath therapy. Actually, it's quite difficult for me to pronounce the word bathtub, but I would say vanne. I will say just one bathtub, because the bathtub, whatever, or just excuse me for saying this word like incorrectly. But anyways, in the bathtub, when we are, we need to get to the temperature which is really close to human body temperature, and the goal for this is that when we are really close to the body temperature, we don't feel the water We don't feel the water as such. We feel like as if we are floating, and we just lay down in our water, and I feel like we are in the bathtub inside, and we are like floating. And what I understood from this information, this is a built-in human therapy, that the human body highly relaxes when it's in a water state of 36.6 degrees, but it can be, from my interpretation, 36 to 37, 38 degrees. It doesn't matter. It's actually it has to be really close to human body temperature. So what happens at this point? The human body has some kind of a built-in function that it becomes slowly relaxed and dumps into a deep state, dumps out into a deep sleep state. And what happens there is that and what I understood later, that information is, it's something like when a baby is inside mother's stomach, he's in exact temperature of 36.6 degrees. And this temperature allows the body to lock down or to turn off the mind figures, the mind functions. And what happens and this information was given to a meditative perspective, that in this temperature we can shut down our mind in high levels. So in other words, go inside a bathtub, go inside where the bathtub is quite hot, and then allow the bathtub to warm down to the body temperature, and just close your eyes and just relax. And the temperature, and the body will feel the temperature of 36.6 degrees inside. Well, it's the same as body temperature, and the body will start to shut down the mind function, and the mind will become more and more deeper relaxed, like in a deep relaxation state. And this is a highly meditative experience, what they were sharing for others that share, and a relaxation experience. So this can be a therapy that you can use from day to day. In other words, is you really need to have a bath that is warmed with thermo-resistant material from the outside, because many times here in houses the bath can get really quickly cold. So in other words, the temperature may last for minutes, or in other words, temperature lasts for seconds. In other words, maybe the temperature lasts for half an hour. So it's really up to you to do something that holds this temperature. So yeah, and the next information was, oh well, wait, I will try to remember. What was it? Oh yeah, water, again with water temperature, and there is a temperature of 45 degrees where we boil stuff. For example, we want to get the maximum out of the teas, and we want to get the maximum out of, for example, as Enrico was sharing, the recipe celery soup. And the celery soup is a simple soup where you cut down celeries and celery root and try to boil it in a temperature, and when it gets boiling, try to get the energy from the celeries. And what happens there is that the celery contains an energy, and it's like a chemical that makes you feel lots of energy, like makes you feel vibration more, and sensation of vibration lots more. And for example, to get the most out of this soup, from the channeling that I said, keep the celeries in temperature of 45 degrees. And what happens then is that the temperature of 45 degrees is the temperature where the water doesn't boil, it doesn't steam out the valuable chemicals from the for example, celery, and the temperature is quite enough to squeeze out the extract out the values from the celery, or the chemical that is necessary for having this meditational and energy sensation. In other words, you can use also a steam, what was it called? Basket? No, the steam. Well, where you boil the soup, the steam, deep pan with the steam cover on it, so the steam doesn't go out. So, in other words, this 45 degrees temperature is a temperature where the water doesn't boil, so it keeps inside the values from the root, or from the fruit, or from the whatever you are doing, and also it extracts. This temperature is plenty enough to extract the valuable stuff from the fruits, the the whatever you are eating. The other thing is that maybe you need to boil it or keep it in the stencher for a longer period of time, but still, this was also an interesting experience, which one of the girls in the room classified, yeah, this is true, because vegans and vegetarian people, they use this temperature to get the maximum out from the fruit. So in other words, keep in mind that whatever you are boiling something, it boils out the vitamins, the content of the soup. It just leaves the heavy stuff inside of it. So in other words, long-term boiling just boils out all the valuable minerals from the energetical minerals from the thing which you are making. So this was the information which I wanted to share with you, and just enjoy and imagine life in peace. Such a nice words. Okay, so thank you for listening. Bye.